You know the first attraction I ever built when I came down from Scotland?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the film moments that end up being more meaningful than you would expect. Some spoilers ahead for the following movies.
I just sometimes feel like it's all ruined.
Number 20, Plane Crash Foreshadowing, Final Destination. Known for its shocking kills, Final Destination is full of deathly surprises.
In death, there are no accidents, no coincidences, no mishaps, and no escapes.
If you watch closely, several members of the ensemble signal their impending fates. This includes subtle gestures like Todd pretending to cut his throat. As it turns out, death doesn't like it when you avoid him. These indications are a clever and cruel way the writers put you on edge. Another example is Terry's ironic placement in front of some bus artwork. Not only are these spooky details, they also make you think twice about leaving the house yourself. The filmmakers find a way to make blocking and production design even more crucial.
I'm never gonna die.
Number 19, Stampede, Tremors. When underground creatures wreak havoc, the unlikely heroes in Nevada assemble. An early point in the film even gives an indication of where things might be heading. Kevin Bacon's Val McKee wakes up his friend Earl Bassett, jokingly calling out a stampede.
Stampede! Stampede, Earl!
Bassett's fall mirrors the death of the final monster. The thrilling finale finds the pair tricking the enemy, with the latter fumbling its way to a massive drop. It's not the most obvious piece of foreshadowing either. Eagle-eyed viewers might draw a parallel, but this doesn't detract from the entertaining nature of Tremors.
Can you fly, you sucker? Can you fly?
Number 18, Finding the Knife, Saving Private Ryan. Steven Spielberg's brutal look at World War II doesn't hold back, depicting the many casualties of Allied soldiers. After the heroes secure Omaha Beach, they find a Hitler Youth knife on an enemy's corpse.
And now it's just about Holocaust, right?
Private Stanley Mellish spots the knife and has an emotional reaction. It's an affecting scene on its own, but the moment foreshadows a gruesome finale. Mellish later fights for his life while a blade plunges into him. Little did he know that he would die from a similar type of weapon. With a number of chilling deaths, Saving Private Ryan becomes even more disturbing at this point.
Let's stop! Listen to me! Listen to me! Stop!
Number 17, The Chief Inspector, Hot Fuzz. Nicholas Angel hopes for a big city promotion, but ends up with a post in a small village. He first complains to his superiors and makes a comment about disappearance to Chief Inspector Kenneth.
With respect, sir, you can't just make people disappear.
Yes, I can. I'm the chief inspector.
Later in the film, the hero realizes that Inspector Frank Butterman actually kills people.
Hello, Nicholas. I was like you once. I believed in the immutable word of the law.
It turns out that Angel's worries came true in a major way. While Kenneth isn't the culprit, his reply foreshadows the corruption alive in Sanford. Butterman and his collaborators get rid of people in a scheme to win an award.
We were knee-deep in dog-muck thieving kids and crusty jugglers.
Crusty jugglers.
It's another witty piece of writing from Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, both of whom prepare a fun twist through dialogue. Number 16, The Same Diner, Pulp Fiction. As this 1990s classic gets going, it almost seems like a random series of crime stories.
This place? A coffee shop.
What's wrong with that? Nobody ever robs restaurants. Why not?
The first scene features two robbers that decide to knock off a diner. In an ingenious twist, Quentin Tarantino returns to this location in the film's ending.
Oh, man, I just been sitting here thinking.
About what?
About the miracle we witnessed.
Miracle you witnessed. I witnessed a freak occurrence.
If you look closely, you can see the character Vincent Vega walking in the background. This Easter egg only enhances the beginning. Watching the movie a second time, you'll see the writing on the wall. Tarantino plays with time and story structure, keeping you on your toes until bringing you back to the start.
You read the Bible, Ringo?
Not regularly, no.
Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Ezekiel 25:17.
Number 15, Childhood Flashback, Citizen Kane. During the first scene of this classic, Charles Foster Kane delivers his last words. His mystery message leads people to wonder what it all meant.
Here's a man that could have been president, who was as loved and hated and as talked about as any man in our time. But when he comes to die, he's got something on his mind called Rosebud. Now, what does that mean?
Little does the audience know, a scene from the hero's childhood unlocks the entire plot. A younger Kane plays in the snow before being whisked away by good fortune.
This is Mr. Thatcher, Charles.
Oh. How do you do, Charles?
This means even more when you realize his sled's name. In the end, workers burn the wealthy man's possessions and the last shred of evidence. It's all a brilliant metaphor for the loss of his childhood innocence. In his dying moments, he pined for a time before wealth and loneliness. This kind of detail adds to the overall mystique of Citizen Kane. Number 14, a nod to Charles Dickens, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. When Captain Kirk has a birthday, Spock gives him a copy of A Tale of Two Cities.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Message, Spock?
None that I'm conscious of. Except, of course, happy birthday.
The gift becomes much more important than a salute to Charles Dickens. At the end of the novel, one character sacrifices his life for another. This becomes an aptly made reference when The Wrath of Khan mirrors Dickens' plot. During the climax of the movie, Spock puts his life on the line to save the Enterprise crew.
Ship out of danger?
Yes.
Don't grieve, Admiral. It is logical.
One of the most memorable twists in sci-fi history links itself to literature. Unless you're a fan of the classics, you probably didn't pick up on this parallel.
I have been, and always shall be, your friend. Live long and prosper.
Number 13, Killing a Historian, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. In a film full of anachronisms, this one might be the funniest. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is briefly interrupted by a historian.
The ferocity of the French taunting took him completely by surprise, and Arthur became convinced that a new strategy was required if the quest for the Holy Grail were to be brought to a successful conclusion.
Before he can offer up much commentary, he's slayed by a passing horseman. This seems like a random burst of comedic violence until the end. As King Arthur and his posse conduct their final charge, they are rudely interrupted by the cops.
Yes, they're the ones, I'm sure.
It would also be fair to assume that the Knights of the Round Table were suspects. While Arthur and company get hauled away, you might laugh or feel shocked by the surprise ending.
All right, Sonny, that's enough. Just pack that in.
Number 12, Mr. Orange rats out Mr. Pink, Reservoir Dogs. When you first meet the robbers in Reservoir Dogs, you probably don't expect one to be an undercover cop.
It's a commode story. It's a scene, man. Memorize it. What? Look, man, an undercover cop's got to be Marlon Brando, right? To do this job, you got to be a great actor. You got to be naturalistic. You got to be naturalistic as hell.
The thieves spend part of their breakfast discussing tips.
You don't ever tip, huh?
I don't tip because society says I have to. All right, I mean, I'll tip if somebody really deserves a tip. If they really put forth the effort, I'll give them something extra. But I mean, this tipping automatically, it's for the birds.
After Mr. Pink's rant, Joe Cabot wants to know who didn't throw in their share. This leads to an important hint as to which guy might be a cop. Mr. Orange speaks up, revealing Pink's choice and his potential for being the rat.
Who didn't throw in?
Mr. Pink.
Mr. Pink.
This becomes a much more telling moment after Orange's identity is revealed. Quentin Tarantino impresses audiences once again, making them wonder what else they missed the first time. Number 11, Lone Pine Mall, Back to the Future. Any great time travel movie likes to play with your expectations.
Doc!
Marty, you made it!
Yeah!
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
Back to the Future also lets various details alter the narrative, with this change making for another fun piece of the puzzle. Marty McFly meets Doc Brown at Twin Pines Mall before going back in time. Once he's in the past, McFly accidentally destroys one of Peabody's trees. This makes for an ingenious change in the future. It turns out that the protagonist's accident inspired the new name Lone Pine Mall. With so many gags in this movie, this one might be among the most underrated. Number 10, Goodbye Old Friend, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
You're gonna need me on this one, Master.
Oh, I agree. However, it may turn out just to be a wild panther chase.
Revenge of the Sith is full of memorable moments, for better or worse. One of the most crucial scenes in the film is often overlooked. Maybe that's because it's also among the subtler moments, using clever visuals to foreshadow the falling out between a master and an apprentice.
But be patient, Anakin. It will not be long before the Council makes you a Jedi Master.
As Obi-Wan heads off to Utapau, he parts with Anakin on good terms, assuring him he'll be a great Jedi eventually.
Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.
When Obi-Wan says goodbye, old friend, he doesn't realize he's saying farewell forever. This is the last time Obi-Wan sees Anakin before he becomes Darth Vader. This is hinted as Obi-Wan steps out into the light, while Anakin remains under the area's dark side, concealing the anger, hate, and suffering within. Number 9. The hand that built Skynet, the Terminator. Even without its lower half, the T-800 is relentless in its pursuit of Sarah Connor. After multiple fakeouts, Sarah finally gets the upper hand by crushing what's left of the Terminator in a hydraulic press. The only part of the machine that's left in decent shape is its right arm, which was mere seconds away from choking the life out of Sarah. When the film premiered in 1984, the arm's preservation wasn't even an afterthought. Little did we know that this plot point would leave the door open for a sequel. In Judgment Day, Skynet's creator Cyberdyne Systems tries to reverse engineer the T-800's arm, as well as the CPU that got left behind.
We got Skynet by the balls now, don't we? Come on, let's book.
It may have been terminated, but this machine still can't be stopped.
Time to go. Now.
Number 8. Donnie Misses, the Big Lebowski.
Good night, sweet prince.
As much as we love this cult comedy, we share the stranger's sentiment when he says that he didn't like seeing Donnie go.
I didn't like seeing Donnie go. But then I happen to know that there's a little Lebowski on the way.
One of the reasons Donnie's death is so hard to swallow is because it comes out of nowhere. Or does it? Donnie's demise was actually foreshadowed when he failed to bowl a strike for the first time. Donnie appears puzzled, and the audience is equally confused. Why was that little moment included in the movie? Right after missing, Donnie checks his right hand, suspecting something is off. The situation is even more serious than Donnie thinks, as arm pain is a symptom of an imminent heart attack.
Are these the Nazis, Walter?
No, Donnie, these men are nihilists. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Moments later, Donnie's heart can't take it when a fight breaks out with the nihilists.
Oh, God, they shot him, man.
Not shot, no, dude.
They shot Donnie?
There weren't any shots fired.
Huh?
It's a heart attack.
Number 7. The Warning, The Thing. The opening of this sci-fi horror film immediately sucks the audience in, but a few major things often get lost in translation.
Child, what's he doing? Circling the camp. Who is he? Said Norge or something on the side. It's Norwegian.
While in pursuit of a sled dog, a Norwegian man accidentally blows up his own helicopter. As the dog rushes to a nearby research team, he yells something at them in Norwegian. Unable to get past the language barrier, the Norwegian man starts shooting, causing Gary to fire back. What the Americans and most viewers don't realize is that the Norwegian was saying, "Get the hell away from that thing, that's not a dog, it's some sort of thing. It's imitating a dog, it isn't real, get away, you idiots." The big reveal was hidden in plain sight from the get-go.
Easy, 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 yes.
Number 6. Kevin's Ticket, Home Alone. We all remember the scene in this Christmas classic when Buzz eats Kevin's cheese pizza, sparking a chain reaction that leaves the kitchen in disarray. This creates a distance between Kevin and his family before an even greater distance is created.
He started it. He ate my pizza on purpose. He knows I ate sausage and olives and
Look what you
onions
did, you little jerk.
Even if you watch this film every holiday season though, there is a key detail you likely missed. Amid all the commotion, Kevin's ticket gets thrown out with some wet napkins. Had his ticket not been disposed of, the McAllisters would have realized before getting on the plane to Paris that Kevin had been left home alone. This comes back in the sequel when Mrs. McAllister passes out everyone's tickets, asking where Kevin is.
Where's Kevin? 14. It's a good thing I have my own ticket.
Who knew spilt milk could be such a big deal? Number 5. Pipe Dreams, The Shawshank Redemption. In one of this Oscar-nominated drama's most poignant conversations, Andy tells Red where he'd like to live the rest of his life if he ever gets out of prison.
Say what?
Zihuatanejo. It's in Mexico.
Red, meanwhile, is afraid to leave the big house, worried that he won't be able to make it on the outside.
I've been in here most of my life. I'm an institutional man now.
Of course, this ties into the film's ending, where the recently released Red meets up with Andy in Zihuatanejo. Really listen closely to the sly dialogue here, though. Red tells Andy that his dream of escaping to a Mexican beach is a pipe dream, or more specifically,
This is just shitty pipe dreams.
Andy decides to get busy living, ultimately escaping from Shawshank through a sewage pipe that smells of human feces. Oh, we see what you did there. Number 4, the support group, Hereditary.
My name's Annie.
Hi, Annie.
The devil's in the details in Hereditary, inviting multiple viewings to catch everything. Attending a support group following her mother's funeral, Annie discusses her brother who took his own life. In his departure note, Annie's brother claimed that their mother tried putting other people inside him.
I didn't let her anywhere near me when I had my son, which is why I gave her my daughter, who she immediately stabbed her hooks into.
At first, this just seems to be establishing her family's history of mental illness, making us question Annie's own sanity throughout the film. In this brief moment, however, Annie alludes to the eventual fate of her son Peter. In the end, Peter's body is taken over by his deceased sister Charlie, who hosted the demon Payman. Annie's mother was part of a coven, and long before putting Payman in Peter, they tried doing something similar to Annie's brother.
Hail, Payman!
Hail, Payman!
Number 3, Mike Yanagita, Fargo. Movies by the Coen brothers usually have a few moments that appear pointless on the surface. Upon further investigation, however, they turn out to be vital clues. Take Marge's awkward dinner date with Mike Yanagita, for example. It's uncomfortably funny, but many audiences at the time were left wondering why this seemingly random scene wasn't left on the cutting room floor.
You mind if I sit over here? I was married to Linda Cooksey.
No, why don't you sit over there? I prefer that.
As Roger Ebert pointed out in a retrospective review, Mike plays a greater role than most realize.
They never...
No, they never married. Mike's had psychiatric problems.
After finding out that Mike lied about having a wife, among other things, Marge realizes that she might have missed something when she interviewed Jerry. This motivates her to revisit him for a follow-up interrogation, exposing Jerry for the liar he is. Does that answer your question?
Ma'am, I answered your question.
Number 2, Logan's Heart, the Wolverine. Although it's billed as the final entry in a trilogy, you don't really need to watch the first 2 standalone Wolverine movies to follow Logan. Nevertheless, there is a touching parallel between Logan and 2013's The Wolverine that's lost on most viewers.
Logan.
What?
I saw you die.
What?
I saw you die.
What? Just now?
A while ago.
Possessing precognitive powers, Yukio tells Logan that he's going to die on his back with blood everywhere and his heart in his hand. Given the franchise's messy continuity, we didn't expect this scene to go anywhere.
They can hurt you. They can kill you.
Just wait in the car.
In Logan, though, the titular mutant does indeed die grasping his heart. Not his literal heart, but his symbolic heart, which comes in the form of his daughter Laura's hand. As if this goodbye wasn't devastating enough already, the foreshadowing only makes it more powerful.
Oh, so this is what it feels like.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, we all scream for ice cream, Jurassic Park. Few scenes in Jurassic Park are more spine-chilling than when raptors enter the kitchen with Tim and Lex inside.
Timmy, what is it? It's a velociraptor. It's inside.
Fortunately, Tim lures one raptor into an open freezer. The melting ice on the floor causes the dino to slip, allowing the siblings to quickly lock it inside. But wait, why was the freezer carelessly left wide open? We thought John Hammond spared no expense. Well, think back to an earlier scene where Hammond has some ice cream with Ellie. Hammond tells her that the ice cream was melting, seeing as how the power's out.
They were all melting.
This minor detail is overshadowed by the conversation that ensues, but it helps explain why the freezer wasn't shut. Hammond must have left it open while getting the ice cream, inadvertently saving his grandchildren.
Who better to get the children through Jurassic Park than a dinosaur expert?
Did we forget another scene that meant more than you realized? Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.